What's up, guys? Welcome to Monchkinz Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Monchkinz logging in to bring you another Exos Heroes video, and welcome back to another character review for Exos Heroes. In this video, we are going to be taking a look at FC Scarlet, which is the summer Festa version, in case in the future there's more different FC coming out. Anyway, before we do start, like and subscribe if you haven't already, because it does help the channel, guys, and I really do appreciate all the support that you guys give me. And so without further ado, let's start this video. Okay, we'll start this video off, of course, trying to separate between the normal Scarlet and the FC version. I did cover this in my initial impressions. However, let's go through it once again if you guys haven't seen that video. So for the normal Scarlet, I guess the biggest difference that you're going to be getting between the two is the access to the mana utilization number 3, which is you're going to need to unlock her potential before you get access to this. This is why in the FC Scarlet version you only get the 2 instead of the 3. However, you do get quite a lot with FC Scarlet. Of course, the biggest thing is the Summer's Blessing and the flop thing. I guess that would be the biggest thing. Other than that, both the skill 1 and skill 2 are pretty much the same. However, I do have to note that in order for you to access the same damage potential as FC Scarlet, you do need to unlock the normal Scarlet's potential in order to upgrade her skill 1 and skill 2 to what FC Scarlet already has on the get-go. Other than that, there's really not much else. Okay, now let's take a look at some of the pros of actually using the FC Scarlet. Now, I guess the biggest thing here is going to be she is going to be the best sort of like flop caster. I don't know how to explain it, but she is the best kind of like modification debuffer, as all of her abilities do AoE, and basically when she is at least buffed, she will be able to at least put this debuff on, making so that everyone in the opposing team, granted they don't have some status ailment immunities, they will get stunned by modification. That's basically what it is, but they turn to a lovely little rubber ducky and they can't do anything for 3 turns. So that is the biggest thing with FC Scarlet. The second thing is, obviously, I mentioned it earlier, you don't need to unlock the potential in order to get access to the stronger version of her skill 1 and skill 2. And finally, at number 3, you get the Summer's Blessing passive. You know, if you get hit by any ice attacks, at least all of that, basically you will get buffed with your attack, and that is the biggest thing with the Summer's Blessing. Okay, so moving on from the pros, let's take a look at the cons, which in all honesty, there's really not much, except you lose the better version of mana utilization. This just gives you a little bit more mana. However, there are some ways to circumvent around this. Obviously, having a team member that can generate mana for you is going to be very helpful. Other than that, there's really not much else, because honestly, the Fate Core version is just way better with all the passives that she gets from that Fate Core. Okay, now let's take a look at some of the best buddies for FC Scarlet, or the best party composition, or best characters to combine her with. Obviously, the first one is going to be Rachel. I think Rachel is one of the best party compositions with FC Scarlet because he provides a 1 mana generation like permanently for at least, you know, even if you use all your mana with your burst as FC Scarlet, in the next turn you will have 1 mana for sure. That is what Rachel does. Unfortunately, I would normally like probably suggest FC Annie, but the problem is Scarlet is so slow that she's actually not gonna be able to benefit off FC Annie. So that's why Rachel is sort of like the next best thing as a mana generator, at least permanently. You know, you get 1 mana. Next is going to be Bathory. Well, honestly, Bathory just goes well with everyone. Unfortunately, or fortunately, the Tranquil is just so important in PvP that there, even though Bathory isn't really doing anything at least at the current time of the recording, because of Summer's Blessing, well, she's still being brought along because of that Tranquil. And finally, I think the best one out of all this is going to be FC Iris. She will provide the mana generation that you really need in order for you to actually get your burst out as soon as possible. And honestly speaking, you do want to use that as quick as possible, at least at the current meta, and highly suggest you do try to generate that mana in some shape, way, or form by adding Rachel or FC Iris in your team. Okay guys, so we're finally towards the end of this video, and of course I'll give you guys my final thoughts while you guys are watching some gameplay. You know what, honestly, FC Scarlet, I slept on her. When I did my first initial review of her, or my initial impressions, I told everyone just skip her. She's not that great. There's not much difference to what the normal Scarlet already does. But I soon ate those words. I actually pitied for FC Scarlet. If you guys haven't watched my previous video regarding how to deal with the current meta, she is one of the characters that you can use in order to beat the current meta right now in PvP. So I pitied her, even though I told everyone else, well, you know, you can really skip her, because yeah, my reasoning, just wife reasoning, really, and I think I got so annoyed during like pulling it, because I didn't get even like a normal faded character, and I was like, just give me one, and just give me one, and turn into a full pity. Eventually I did get her, and I was like, well, I don't think I'm gonna use her, but at least I have something good to look at. And in the end, you know what, it ended up working out for me. I did invest some of my holy water in order to actually get her above level 75 and gain access to her burst ability. Getting more mana means more damage. She's insanely awesome currently in meta. I highly recommend actually using her. That modification thing, that stun thing, whatever you want to call it, is just so good currently. Even though I would say it's really hard to get her now because the banner's over. If you do get her while you're pulling for someone else, you know, it's not exactly the worst thing. She is still going to be very useful in terms of, at least right now in the PvP. If you guys haven't seen my previous video, I'll leave a little card up there so you guys can check it out and see how she works in PvP. She does need the right party composition in order to flourish, but when you do have that party composition, I think she is very effective. And you know, it's not like only in PvP, right? In PvE she does a lot of AoEs, so that means in PvE she's really great in terms of doing a ton of damage, clearing out like the mobs very quickly, and yeah, during fire days she's gonna be really awesome as well, because you do want that AoE instead of single target when it comes to the fire days, because you don't really want a lot of turns from the enemies, you know, trying to hit you, especially when you're just starting out. If you are a veteran player now, probably nothing to worry about in your case, but if you're starting out, FC Scarlet is still going to be very useful in PvE, not just in PvP. Anyways, guys, those are my thoughts on FC Scarlet. Please do remember to click like once again if you haven't already, and subscribe as well. You can hit that bell button if you don't want to miss any videos. I know I've been pumping out quite a bit of Exos Heroes video lately, but that's because I'm actually on leave and I have extra time to actually do this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this quite frequently as I would like when I get back to work, but I will try my best to actually at least get an initial impressions out for most of the characters that come out in new banners. Again, leave down in the comments below what you guys think of FC Scarlet, and you know, if you did pull for her during that time when her banner was up, did you think like me she was not that great, but maybe now you might have changed your mind? Anyway guys, make sure to follow me on Twitter as well and on Facebook at Monchkinz Gaming. This is Monchkinz logging off, and I'll see you guys in the next level.